Broadcasting live from sunny California, it's 10 Minutes in Tinseltown with Ms. Meliz, a.k.a. Melissa Reyes. And now, from the left corner, your host, Melissa Reyes.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for being on Tinseltown tonight. We're running a little behind, but I'm so happy to be here with my friend Melany. And from Melany's Guidelines, there she is. Say hi, Melany.
Hi, thanks for having me, and thanks for saving my life last night. You're a blab queen. Patience of a saint.
Oh, you're welcome. It was fun. It was really good. And we have a special guest here, too, who I'm so happy to have with us, Teddy Bruschi. Now, hi, Teddy Bruschi. Oh, my gosh. Hi, Teddy Bruschi. Oh, my gosh, he's so cute. So how many followers does he have now altogether? You know, like around
7,000.
7,000. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I know. He's doing pretty well. I'm proud of him. His hard work is paying off. I'm going to be able to retire and just be or his agent. That's like my big plan. That's my big scheme, but don't tell anybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you know, my cats get more likes on Instagram than anything else I put up, except for your picture yesterday did pretty well last night.
I need to regram that one, and I didn't do it. I was trying to get that up, so I'll regram that too.
Oh, you did a lot of work today, and it was great. You know, it was great. So in case you don't know, yeah, there's Sir Teddy Bruschi. Is at Sir Teddy Bruschi is the Twitter account and Instagram account for Melany's dog. Then follow Melany at MelanyB12 because she has a really fun website and she does a lot of brand, promoting. I hate to say that, but you know, she's got some sponsors and she does some great things, and she is an educator in social media. So I just love to hear what she's doing. And last night she was on Blab being interviewed by a really cool guy. I don't remember seeing him before on Blab. And why don't you tell us how you know him and how you came to do the interview? And then we'll go through my little list of things I want to talk about.
Okay, great. So I know you. Maybe we'll start with that from in Southern California. And we went to, what did we go? New Media Expo, when it was called New Media Expo still.
Yes, I met you at New Media Expo, the first one I went to 3-4 years ago now. Yeah.
We had a blast. It was so much fun. Since then, I've relocated to Arizona, where I didn't know. I went to the University of Arizona, and that's where I sit on the advisory board, and I teach classes in social media as a guest lecturer. But when I moved here, I had no idea that the social media the community here is huge, and there's so many influencers here. And I ended up meeting Aaron Kilby actually via Tweet Chat. He's got Media Chat, which is a great chat if you guys don't know it. And then he actually introduced me to Brian Fanzo, which then introduced me to Martin Jones from Cox Communications.
Really? And Aaron is going to be on my show. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get him very soon, but he has agreed to be on Tinseltown tonight. So that's kind of exciting.
Oh, it's very exciting. He's the best. He does a great chat, and he's just fantastic. He's like literally one of my favorite people in social media. And then I kind of met Sean through that. We had a tweet up here. There was, I think, 30 or 40 of us, and then we kind of ended up following each other on social. And we also knew each other from the dating blog chats, which I was a dating blogger in the beginning.
Right.
Melany's Guidelines, and then it's kind of progressed to being a lifestyle blogger, and he wanted to get me on his show a few months ago, and I kept having to reschedule, and then it finally worked out. So that's how I know him, and I met him one time at Happy Hour, and we've been social media friends. We're both in Social Media Club Phoenix, which is very active. There's a lot of us that are really, really active, and I was giving you for people, and it's cool to see social media so active here in Phoenix, Arizona. I mean, really is such an up and coming city. So,
you know that I don't know if everybody in the room knows that there's social media clubs that will have announcements. It's like, go to this place, or this week we're going to celebrate and we're going to have multiple events happening. And so here in Los Angeles, it's really big, and I've been invited to a couple of things. And, I hardly ever go onto the Facebook group, but one day I got a message from somebody from the social media group, and asked me to go to this event and if I could cover it. It was last minute, and I went, and I was like, why did you think of me? And he just said, I see you all the time on the social media site. And so social media club. So it's kind of cool. It's a nice little, community of people who just like to share on social media and attend events and do mixers and things. Definitely. And usually sponsored by big brands.
Right. And then I also think it's really important to note that, we are all doing our stuff on social media, but you need to put your face out there too. Like that's how we met. We knew each other via online first, but it is important to actually put a face to a screen name. It does make a difference. And, your first now with Blab and stuff, we can see each other, I guess, maybe a little bit better, but it's good to go and shake a hand and give a business card or have a drink and, socialize.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The networking in person is still really important. And supporting our local venues is really important. And I think, that's the neat thing. Like big brands are partnering with places. So sorry, I got distracted. I don't know if somebody can help out Meredith with the share buttons. It doesn't seem like it's working. That's where I got tripped up before. I was trying to tweet when we got frozen. So anyhow, thank you so much. So I went to this really cool event, and it was sponsored by Microsoft and Ford, and it was at the Peterson Museum, which is the automobile museum in Beverly Hills, automotive museum, and they have like every kind of car. It's really, really a beautiful museum. We got to go in there at closing, so we had the whole place to ourselves. They had an event there with I'm going to forget all the names, but of who it was, but you could check it out on my blog. But it, it was a couple of months ago. It was before the holidays, but it was a lot of fun. They had an international contest through Microsoft in one of their video games where people had been playing to win the top slots. And these were the top players of their online game for driving. It was like a driving game and really popular video game. And so they had flown in these guys, all young men from all around the world who were the top players in this game. And then they got to team up with Ford actual road drivers, their Ford representative drivers, and they taught them how to play the game, and then they gave the gamers tips on driving. So together they had to do as a team to play the game, and then the couple that won, the player who won a Ford Mustang live that night.
That's cool.
And so we got to see them play and, have the interviews and the presentation and cover it and stuff. And of course, there's, past hors d'oeuvres and drinks and stuff. And we just had a blast. And I was maybe one of two bloggers there. It was very, very like at the last minute, somebody said, oh, we should get some bloggers here, and they went on that social media club, and it was really neat.
Those are always the best things when they're like last minute, when they're not necessarily planned. But when I moved to Phoenix, I knew my friends from, college and stuff, but I wanted to get involved in social media. So I just did a search like on Twitter, social media Phoenix, and kind of cross-referenced that. And that's how I came about and met Aaron and met all these other people, which took my business to the complete next level. And I think in any city, maybe if you do a search like that on Facebook or on Twitter, or you can even cross-reference the hashtags. I know a lot of different cities have social media clubs or, some types of meetups even where people are interested in doing that. So.
Well, Melany, this really is on point because I've, have some artists here in the group. And I know that it's Grammy's art is Donnie Glenn, and she's just not I don't know how long it's been, but she's moved to Nashville and she's trying to get her business going with her art. So she has a studio and she does her work and she goes on Blab and she's trying to do social media and websites and stuff. But for her, she really wants to sell that art locally. She wants to go to events and things. So do you have any suggestions for her?
Yeah, definitely. I think when people ask me a lot about local stuff, well, first you could go on Twitter and you can kind of search, art is all encompassing. So I guess there's a couple different things.
Oh, 2 years. I thought it was more recent, but that's not long in a lifetime. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, it depends. I mean, does she have a studio, or is she just looking to get involved with different people in the social media?
I don't know. Let's bring her on. Would you like to come on, Donnie, and talk with us a little bit? And she can answer. She's always ready to pop on.
Yeah, because a lot of times when it's local businesses and they're looking for help, local businesses, I'm a huge proponent of Yelp. I mean, I Yelp everything. I find a lot of stuff on that. But like I said, when I went to Phoenix and I was trying to look for people that were in social media and in Phoenix, I just kind of cross-referenced that hashtag up in the search in the right-hand corner. And that's how I found a lot of stuff. And you can even just Google it and see Social Media Club, Nashville, or wherever you're at and try to see what people are doing, or even just the hashtag Nashville on Twitter or wherever, because now you can kind of look at that on Facebook as well, too, you know?
That's the thing, is knowing what to search for, right?
Exactly.
Donnie?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have a little tiny studio. It's actually the second bedroom in my apartment. So I've got a little studio office that I paint in. I'm involved in a gallery walk. There's a gallery walk through downtown Nashville the first Saturday of every month, and I've got a wall in a gallery that's part of that. And so I have local people coming through and seeing my stuff. I'm finding that I have to be incredibly patient and breathe, and eventually I sold a piece last week. It didn't pay for all of the money that I've spent on the gallery walk, but it was a start, you know. I've got my website, I've got my Instagram account. Do you know, Melissa, I just figured out a couple of days ago that I don't ever tweet anything except Blab shows. My entire Twitter feed is join this, here's this, tweet this. I mean, it's all about Blabs. That's all it is. It's just to tweet it out.
Well,
so.
And how do you feel about that?
Well,
I'm sure you're making a lot of friends through Blab. Yeah.
You know what?
The magic number. Go ahead, Melany.
Another good idea is, I mean, in Nashville, it's such an artistic community, especially with the country music scene. Maybe to be able to cross-reference with other kinds of artists that are working within that scene and see what they're doing for their social media outreach. Because there's tons of artists that go out there that want to be country music stars, and kind of seeing it like that. And I find a lot of times when you're trying to make a name for yourself, you know, maybe you can pair up with a local blogger or something, or do a giveaway. I mean, I know that's not probably what you want to hear, but a lot of times it's a really good way to build a fan base.
With art, it's easy to give away prints of your work and still have your originals. So you could always do that.
Actually, trying to get the prints done would cost me more than just doing another piece of art. I could actually give away actual canvases for cheaper than it would cost me to do, unless we're talking the big pieces. There's the Nashville Creative Group that I'm a part of. They meet twice a month. I try and make those meetings and talk to them, and it's a very supportive group. Part of it, Melany, is that I've got this much energy and this much to do. You know, it's I've recently, you know, somebody started saying, well, Pinterest would be perfect, and I'm like, stop, don't talk.
Yeah. Well, that is
another thing
for tonight. We're going to talk about focus. So I know you're already on Twitter. So let's just focus on Twitter. The magic 3 for Twitter. Starts with T, magic 3, okay? Put your own content, retweet other people's content, and then do what you're doing about sharing events and things. So little 3 things. So every day you want to put up a little picture, snap your own little things, make your own little quote, just talk, you know, and then go through your feed. And if you see something you really like, retweet, quote it, say something in there add a few people that you want to share it with directly, put their names in, and send that out. And then you're already sharing the blab stuff, so that's great. But then you want to go back and engage with those blabbers. Go back
Twitter.
in and on Twitter. You see a tweet that has a name in it, you pop out, you click on that, it's going to be highlighted. You click on it, it's going to go straight to that person, and you can send them a message, and you could say, I saw you on the blab this morning. That was awesome, huh? Anything. Just use your real words. Sometimes I will copy and paste that and stick it in a bunch of people's stuff, but I'll just change it and say, hi, Melanie. Hi, Donnie. Hi, Meredith. And the rest of it is like, I saw you on Blab. It was great. I don't care if it's the same thing. Maybe 1 out of the 10 people I send that to will reply to me, maybe more. And then we have a conversation going. And that is what I do every day.
Yep.
On Twitter, usually before I even get out of bed.
Me too. And on Twitter, I'm just looking right now. So say, for example, I put in Nashville artist and just searched it, just put it up there. And anyway, so this girl, Heidi Schwartz, paint your event announcement, Nashville artist. And she's showing her paint and all this stuff and all these different places to go. So you maybe even want to reach out to her and be like, tell her what you're doing and that you're an artist. And then maybe she has some suggestions for you as well. That's a really great way to do that. I mean, you're going to get, Nashville art and Nashville artist would probably be the hashtag that I would look at. And then, and then look at that. Also, like local, just networking events in general are really good too, because you never know who you'll meet.
I interviewed somebody from Nashville not too long ago. I think it was Susan Williams. Let me see. And Meredith, did you want to come in? There's so many Susan Williams. I think she's that Susan Williams. I did get really quiet. Okay. Meredith is suggesting to automate some stuff, calendar events, your website, a favorite quote, but then check in throughout the day, but pace yourself or could get lost in it. Yeah, so I'm on Triber, and so that's something for bloggers or people who have posts that come up all the time, and I'm in different groups, and those people, we auto-share each other's posts, so it looks like they're posting my content, and I'm posting theirs, and then we retweet and stuff. And it does seem like a lot. So if somebody has 10 friends and I'm one of them, they will hate me because I will be in their feed constantly with all this stuff.
Yeah.
But if somebody has 100,000 friends and I'm once in a while, like every hour, one or two tweets at a time, it blends in. So that's who I'm trying to get. So I have something coming out every hour. On the hour and then some. Anyway, that's just me.
Yeah.
What was it called again?
Well, what I do? Oh, mine is Triber, but there are other ones. Triber is it's really good if you I post about once a week, so or twice or more. But and then there other people are posting sometimes multiple times a day. So it's hard to explain. But you join a tribe. The tribe will either on their individually kind of all the blog posts come up in a feed, and then they can decide to tweet it out or share it however they want, and then they can set it to auto if they like you and know you and trust you, and then everything you post will automatically go out. So I have a number of people who do that for me, and I do that for them. So
if I joined Triber, you would automatically repost my stuff.
If you're in my tribe, yeah.
I was looking for you to say yes, Melissa. Just yes. You trust me. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, yes, of course. I trust you. I know you. There's a lot of people on there I don't really even know. So, and here's Barb. Barb is an excellent person, too. I don't know if you know Barb, Melany, but Barb practically invented the internet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hi. I'm happy you said that because I'm on here a lot.
I know. No, she has over 100 websites, I think.
Wow.
So, yeah, I know.
Tons, yeah.
Wow, stir, whatever that means on the side to her.
Yeah, really. So tell everybody what you're doing right now, what brands you're representing, and what you're doing. Well, I'm looking for that Susan.
Who, me?
Yes, you, my dear.
What am I doing? So I just wrapped up something with Physicians Formula last week. It was this selfie makeup. And then I did something with Dunkin' Donuts for their new coffee and the fact that they're serving breakfast 24 hours a day. It was a push that they wanted to do where they use influencers instead of using, celebrities because, first of all, we're less expensive and people can relate to me like a normal person. And I have got a really cool giveaway coming up for Mother's Day with a really great jewelry company. So you'll have to stay tuned because that'll be going live next week and I can't spill the beans for it. And that's what I have on the horizon right now. I think there was one other thing, but I can't remember. It's always busy. There's always something. Oh, I'm going to see you. We're going to the She Knows, the Blog Her conference in a few months. That is here in LA, right? Yep. And yeah. She Knows actually.
I'm going to get together with you. I'm not actually going to it.
Oh, you're not? Okay. Well, then let's do drinks.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to I'm going to be like a groupie and hang around and see whoever is in town and stuff because I'm not paying for any blogging conferences this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to Bloggers at Midlife conference in Vegas in a couple weeks. That's a really big group that I'm in that I got, now I'm perimenopausal, so I get to be in this other group where I'm the youngest, one of the youngest. It's really nice. And most of the bloggers there are retired professional women, journalists and publicists and authors, and they all have blogs and they're fantastic and a wealth of knowledge. And I love being with them and talking to them. And of course, they want me to talk to them about live streaming. And so they comped me this year's conference in hopes that I'll be there for next year's conference.
That's how you got to do it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I'm going, I think I mentioned last night, I'm going to the Blog Pause conference. So that's for bloggers and people that work within with four-legged animals, and you can have any kind of animal. If your animal is well-behaved, you can bring them, but it's
so cool.
I mean, there's a lot of people in this community and,
I think Anne and Mary are going to that possibly, or Anne is.
Really? Okay, cool. I'm excited about it. I also I wanted to do different conferences this year because I don't want to always do the same exact things. I wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit,
Well, I was invited to go to Connect Her last year, and that was really great. And I'm going to be a roundtable presenter at Connect Her this year. So that's another one. Have you ever been to Connect Her?
No.
It's an invitation-only entrepreneur, women entrepreneur and blogger conference. And so it's a very small, like boutique conference. There's, I think, 100 or 150 max people. And it's a one-day thing, and it's hosted completely. So you pay, I think, $35 or $50 as a deposit to attend, and then you either get that back or can apply it for the next year. So it really doesn't cost anything to go because everybody's hosted by the sponsors.
Oh, that's very cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like these, the idea of it's expensive to go to conferences and pay for this and pay for that. It definitely gets expensive. But what I really liked about Blog Pause is a certain part of the proceeds goes to a nonprofit animal rescue of your choice. So however much you spend on it, they decide that a certain cut of that goes to a nonprofit of your choice, which is pretty cool.
That's really cool. So we're talking about focus today, and I have a little list of things that I'm focusing on and working on, and it's really helped me to have a theme for each week. So last week I had patience, and the week before that I had courage, and what I did was at the beginning of the month, I went through and used my Susie Cheel Heart Whisperer Oracle cards and picked out random cards for each week. And I've been using that as my theme. And so it's been really neat. And so I wanted to talk, that's why I'm talking about focus this week, because the card that I had chosen was focus. Now, Susie Cheel is was one of the top 50 personal development bloggers when I was chosen as a top 50 personal development blogger a couple of years ago. And she's from Australia. And one day she was on Blab. And I'm like, Susie Chill, I know who you are. And we connected. And so we've been doing some blabs together and connecting on Facebook. And she is an artist who did a 365 challenge where she did a different art, heart. Every day she did a different art project with hearts for a year.
Wow.
And then she used those to make memes and different things with phrases. And then she ended up coming up with this deck of cards. She's also on Redbubble. She's a huge influence in my life because I did the same thing where I started doing the 100 mandala challenge. Suddenly you have, like 50 mandalas around. What do you want to do with all that art? So I went to Redbubble. This is self-promo time a little bit. So I don't know if you've heard of redbubble.com. It's like Society6, where you could download your art or upload your art to the site with huge pictures, and then you can get products like this mug is one of my mandalas.
Oh, cool!
So you can order a mug with my art, or this scarf was my sparkle mandala.
Oh, cool!
So yeah, so I'm actually like designing things with patterns that I've created on paper with markers.
Wow.
I literally, am drawing these things, and then I'm taking a picture of it and posting it, and then I'm selling products. And I learned how to do that from Susie Chill. And so her oracle cards are really cool. I don't know if you're into those at all or not. A lot of times people either have never been exposed to them, but they each have a really nice theme and word and a little positive affirmation kind of thing. And so you just pick the cards out randomly, and it kind of helps you to stay on track with mindfulness, letting go of your worries. And that's what I've been doing. And so it's all tying together for me, and things are happening. So I'm getting better, as we talked about, better known on Blab.
Yeah.
I'm being interviewed more often. My face is out there more. I'm getting invitations to these things, these conferences. I'm selling my artwork. And I'm finding it really easy, even down, Melanie, even to my health. So I went to the doctor. My blood sugar is lower. I'm starting on a new med that's going to help me even more. But my doctor wanted to make sure I could get it down on my own first before she put me on more meds. So she challenged me, and I did it. And I also have a new website that I'm going to be doing. It's kind of like a Weight Watchers, but it's totally free. It's called Fit to Me. And I just signed up, and they have an app and everything. And so they give you, tailor-made activities and diet plans and recipes, and it's really fit to me with a number 2. So I wanted to share that with everybody today. So that's why I'm glad you're here, so you could tell us what you're focusing on and how you get everything done, because we want to be open to sharing with each other and promoting each other, and that's what everybody's thinking about. And self-promo has started to get a bad rap. People are like, oh, you could be on my group, but no self-promotion. Right. You know what? Self-promotion can be annoying, but self-promotion is important. And I've learned that on the marketing programs that I watch in the morning, and there is a time and place. So this is a time and a place. So I want anybody who wants to get on and tell us what they're doing, you're welcome to. Good. You want to do that with us now? You're welcome to.
So wait, so do you do the cards once a day, or do you do it like weekly, or how does that work?
You could do it as often as you want, but what I did is, let's see, I'll show you this other thing. Influenced by, I'm trying to really infuse my, life coaching and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the year, Ann Odell actually sent me this. I downloaded this lady's planner for the year. It's a blogger planner, I guess. It's Unraveling the Year Ahead. And it's a workbook by Susanna Conway, SusannaConway.com, and that's Susanna with an H, Conway.com. And it's a great year. Obviously, I didn't fill in all the stuff about 2015 because I'm like all about going forward.
Right.
So, but after I got through, and she uses mandalas and things too, so I had put my sparkle was my theme for the year. and I, answered some of the questions. And then, I kind of talked about a chart of where I want to go for the whole year. And then she had like this month by month planner. And she talks about elements, air, water, and like it's really frou-frou stuff, but I like that kind of stuff.
I do too. So, I went to Sedona. Have you ever heard of Sedona, Arizona?
Of course, yeah.
So that place, I sold my house. It was so fast. I had to move, and it was just so many things, and I'm always running in so many different directions. And I went to Sedona, and I think you would love it. It's all of this kind of stuff. I mean, there's something.
I have a friend who's a DJ in Sedona, and she's
really.
Yeah. I'll tell you all about her later. But anyway, so this was in this booklet, and she talks about the forecast, and she actually talks about oracle cards, and you can go online and order them. But I already had mine because I got mine because of Susie Cheel. So I pulled them out. I'm like, oh, okay, because I didn't know really how to use them. And I followed these directions, and I have a theme for every month, and then break it down to a monthly forecast. And you pick out 2 for each week of the month. And literally transferred that over to my business planner from Elia Williams, which is also on my list to talk about today. I have it all ready. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you know Elia Williams. She's a blogger too. She's on Facebook and everywhere. You've probably seen her at conferences, and she published this really cool planner. It's for entrepreneurs, and she signed it for me. I interviewed her. She sent it to me. But so it starts with a month, a blank month you could fill in, and then it just has the weeks, and then it just repeats and repeats and repeats. So like, you could use it forever, but it has a great marketing tracker for social media. I don't know if you can see that, but it has like where you can track, your Teddy Bruschi's like, yeah, I like that one. And then on this side, it has the blank space for each day of the week and a to-do list. So I went in and I put in all my Oracle card themes for the month, and I've been really sticking to it.
That's
and
good.
Miracles. Okay, Cindy, show us yours.
So
no, at first I was going to say, so those are Susie Cheel's cards?
Yes, and I'd be happy to do a reading for you because that is always fun.
I'm gonna have to get me a set of those because they are beautiful.
Aren't they beautiful? And she sends them in this little pouch, and she actually wrote a note to me because I was one of the pre-orderers. But so this is what it is. It's Heart Whisper Daily Guidance Oracle Cards by Susie Cheel.
Yeah.
You can get them from her website, SusieCheel.
Or from, can you get them from the Redbubble too?
I don't think she has these on Redbubble. You have to get them from SusieCheel.com.
And you did that scarf?
And this scarf, yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I just love it. I wanted to order one just to see what they were like before I started talking about it, and I love it so much.
And that's on Redbubble?
First of all, it's really sheer, and it's thin. So this whole thing I can roll up and put in my purse, but if it's cold, even though it's that sheer, it's like a polyester, so it's very warm, and it's big enough that it could be worn by maybe a skinny person or even me as a wrap for your bathing suit or sarong,
And is it on Redbubble?
And this is on Redbubble, and I have all of my mandalas, well, not all my mandalas. I have about 10 or 15 mandalas there now, and I've made them all into different designs. So this one is the sparkle mandala. So all it was this one drawing, and it spells out the word sparkle in the hearts.
Oh.
And that's the first one I did this year. And then I went in and designed it onto the scarf. And so this retail it sells for about $30. And I get like $3. But at least it's, it's.
Would you do sell it on your blog, or how do you do that?
I'll show you the link in here. Hold on, let's see if I can get it to work.
Well, after she told me about Redbubble and on Sandra's blab there, Susie Cheel and Melissa were on that, and I went over to Redbubble and I started putting up some of my artwork.
Oh, good.
But I didn't do a lot of the painted items as much as I had photography. I had done a lot of picture taking of flowers I want to paint. but I thought, oh, cool, I'll just put them in there and see what they look like on a mug, you know,
Yeah.
or on a pillow. I'm like, some of the stuff, it's like, I would put this in my house. This is really cool.
They have pillowcases and they have just all kinds of neat things. T-shirts. You could
Skirts,
design your T-shirts on there.
skirts, pants.
I worked with Zazzle for a while, but
It's
like
just like that. It's like Zazzle, and this just shows my face and my profile. I don't like this, but
It's beautiful. Stop it. Anyway,
well, I love my face. I wanted it to show the website, but it shows my.
they have to click on it probably.
Yeah. Well,
Amazon.
you could go to redbubble.com and see all the products, and there's a lot of fun things. What I love about it is that. Like with Society 6, when I first noticed it, it was really a lot of professional artists, and I just got intimidated. But I think that Redbubble is just a little bit more accepting of the novice, and they even have. I'm in a Redbubble artist group on Facebook, and they're very supportive. And there's a hashtag Redbubble Create on Instagram, and so I've gotten a lot more followers on Instagram because they're coming from that community. So I really like community-based
So
social
you
media.
like the Redbubble better than Zazzle? Is that what you're saying?
I never tried Zazzle as an artist. I've ordered products from them,
Okay.
but I'm going to do them all, man.
Cool.
I'm in it now. It's fun. And it has social aspects, so I like that.
Right. I'm
So,
gonna get more into that, but in the meantime, today I booked my first blab. I'm like, oh my god!
I met Cindy on Snapchat, Melanie.
I'm calling it unofficial.
so what, as a host, or do you have a show?
I'm gonna host it, and I have a woman
fantastic.
who lives in New Hampshire with me here, and she does classes in Ukrainian Easter eggs.
No way, really? I used to do that.
Did
I
you?
love that.
Which it doesn't surprise me really, because she was showing me, she says she doesn't do the, this is not her book, but these are just a sample of what they are. She showed me her eggs today that she does. She doesn't do the traditional design work that's in this book, but she says, oh, I let people do whatever they want. And she was showing me some of them. And Melissa, oh my God, it was like, that's Melissa. Oh my God.
Oh, really?
Well,
I started years ago with decoupage eggs, and I would do, you know what decoupage is because you're an art teacher. but then I saw the Lithuanian Easter eggs, and they are like etched. The Easter eggs are etched. And so I tried that. They do a chemical process to make them look the way they look. I didn't do that. I just dyed them like regular Easter eggs and then etched them with a Dremel. I have my own Dremel on my own little tools. And that was a blast, except it just took so long for each one. But each one is a masterpiece. It's, it's really neat, these little designs. And so, yeah, I've always done Easter eggs in different ways. This year I did them. I did those black ones with the white chalk marker.
Oh, I liked them. I liked the
So
big
much
ones
fun.
you had with like the filigree lace cutout.
Oh yeah, that was neat. This little wood cutout that I got and then I drew on it or colored on it.
Yeah, those are really pretty. But yeah, so this woman, she was showing me some of the ones. One of them, she had drawn little owls all the way around it. It was so cute. But some of them reminded me of your mandalas. So.
Yeah, well, I was going to try to attempt to do the mandalas on the eggs, and then I thought, oh, I should have started this a lot longer than the day before Easter. So that, I did one, but this is actually getting warm. But so, Melany, are you crafty? Or
I think I'm creative in a sense, but I don't do art when it's like that. But I create stuff on Canva that's creative.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Canva.
My go-to kind of thing, and I think that I'm crafty in the sense that I'm like my snarky humor and things like that. I love doing.
You have a crafty wit.
Crafty wit, yeah. And then, so you were asking, so how do I stay focused? And I was saying that I was going cuckoo. So I went to Sedona to have a little bit of So I wrote something that said, I know I'm a workaholic. I'm working on it. And so I went to Sedona and I did some hiking, and I did an ATV ride, which I've never done before. Just went out and just rode around. It was awesome. And then we went to this place. I don't know if you can see this. This is my aura. It's a picture of my aura. So they've got like,
oh wow.
So they've got all these different really cool places where I got these stones. I've had stones before, but like this one says,
that's beautiful.
I like the glitter one.
Yeah.
Yes. So they're all like representative of something, whether it's to give you strength.
I'm into that.
For for mental clarity. This one says relax. I just liked this one. Oh my God, I just dropped one. I'm not supposed to drop that. So, I've got a whole container here of all different kinds of things where I have like rose quartz.
Chills. I love crystals too.
It's supposed to welcome, love into your life. And then when they did my aura reading, actually, I have lots of these different colors all symbolize something, and all this white means that I have a lot of guardian angels around me.
Oh,
very true, because
yes,
I lost my sister and my grandmother and my best friend within the last 8 years. So this means, and this is also creativity and being relaxed. And I did this right in the end of Sedona, so it really is magical. Just being outside and being with nature and getting away from the computer. I love my computer, but I was trying to kind of do what you were saying and prioritize things and say, what, I've got to give myself a few hours or however much time to take for myself, because if not, we get so caught up in everything, and it's just, you have to be able to take the time and smell the roses.
Right.
Getting really caught up and really stressed out and doing all this stuff. So I keep these stones, and I've got a whole container like this. And it says be happy. It says be happy on here, and I touch them and I look at them, and I have them in the center of my table, so I see them every single day. So I'm trying to do that, and I'm trying to do new things. Like I want to learn how to golf. I'm very sporty. I want to learn how to golf.
Scottsdale, there's got to be a lot of golfing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I posted here. This is my friend who lives in Sedona. You kind of see her. It says Mixtress Hava.
Oh, yeah.
Her name when I was in high school with her was Jennifer Derby. But now she's Mixtress Hava. Goes by Hava. I'm going to be seeing her at our... Now, wait. I don't want you to freak out or fall off your chair. Just brace yourself. My 30-year high school reunion. I'm going to be seeing her very soon. Yes, 30 years. Did you see her jaw drop down?
Oh, mine is 35.
Oh my gosh. See? Okay. That, we're kindred spirits. I think that Melany's in her 30s, so she's probably freaking out a little bit, but that's okay. So she's like, yeah.
30-ish now.
Ish.
Yeah.
You're 29 how many times, Melissa?
Yeah.
Lost count. So anyway, Hava and I go way back, but she's in Sedona, and she's a DJ, and she also has this show for Living Raw. It's called rawlivingradio.com. And so she's like really into the health stuff, but very much into the aura, and massage, and really cool. She's pretty awesome. The other thing I wanted to show you, if you like Canva, is relaythat.com. It's a great free site. Of course, you can pay and upgrade and get an even better one, but this is really great this is how I do all my cover art for YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and Blabs. Can you see that in there?
If I click on this, is it going to take me away from you, though?
No, it'll open up another window.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does that differ from using a thing like Photoshop or InDesign or something?
Well, it's hugely different than Photoshop in the way that it has prefab designs, but you put in your words and your pictures to make it unique to you. And then what happens is when you do that, you select what platform you're going to put it in, and it makes it the correct size and dimensions for that platform. So you don't have problems. Like if you go to YouTube and you want to try to do a cover page for that, it's totally different size than a Facebook or Twitter. You can't use the same one. You have to know those dimensions. It does a Blab Show card. The current one I'm using is called live streaming, I think, and it is really nice because it's wide, which is great for the website and Twitter and stuff, but it has like a picture in the middle that's centered so that little square that shows up now on Blab will show something rather than just half of something.
I'm going to check that out. That looks cool. Another one that's great, really cool. Like a lot of times, you'll get a really good quote or you'll think of something and if you're doing like a Twitter chat, I use Word Swag. It's pretty cool. You can kind of import your own images or you can do a search of their images and then you can lay a font over it and do it really quick so you can share it quickly. So like when I tweet about events and I'm trying to promote them and I think of like a really good quote or somebody says a good quote, I use Word Swag. I really like that app. It's really good. And then you can—
Is that on your phone?
It's an app?
It's an app. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, what it's called. I just wrote that down. I use Ripple, which is just something I saw a card on Instagram and I clicked on it and I really love Ripple. What I like about Ripple is it is easy to share out to your Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. And then it collects all the engagement. So it will tell you collectively how many people have seen it over all of those different places.
Well,
so that's pretty cool. It's called RIPL. And you put, it's an app and you put in, it will give you like a running count. It's pretty cool. So I'm seeing how it's
going. You do Ripple and Word Swag you do on your phone?
Yeah, I do Ripple on my phone. So this is
and then
do you
email it to your desktop so that you can drop it into other things? You drop it into all your platforms from your phone?
I cheat. What I do is I drop it into a I drop it into a platform that then I can save it to my phone pictures. Okay. Then I can share it out more. You could do photos or you could do videos from here. So the video is harder to share out, but like this is what I did for my son. So I put my son, the picture, is my own picture. But right. It helps you with the graphics, or you could use their pictures. That was one that was in there. So there's a lot of choices.
Have you used Canva as well? So you like
Canva for almost everything.
Right. Melany uses Canva, but has Melissa used Canva?
I use Canva extensively, and I started using it for work. And I actually do a 12-page newsletter all on Canva, one page at a time with all their free pages. Wow. So, but I use Canva a lot. If you go to MsMeliz.com, the first little bar that I have across the top right now is a Canva. And a lot of the things that I was using that I now use Relay that for, I was using for Canva.
I was going to say, but you had mentioned Relay. So which do you think is more user-friendly to the novice, the Relay or the Canva?
Canva is more user-friendly for someone who's new, but once you get to be good at Canva, you're going to like Relay. It's a little harder to navigate because it's you just have to think like a man who does code, and then you can get it pretty easily. It's not made for, us intelligent women. Sorry, Craig Carpenter is the designer, developer, and coder for Relay. He's really great. He's got a Facebook group too, and he's trying really hard to make it as friendly as possible. But certain things, like you weren't able to resize pictures because in his mind it had to fit in this, frame, and so he's learning to think differently, because I think differently. I don't think like a coder. I think like someone who just wants to stretch things. And why can't it work? So anyhow, I found that limiting at first, but now I'm used to it and I love it. And the reason I love it is because not only do you pick that one thing, you design it for, say you design it for Blab, right? Mm-hmm. But then you also want to tweet it out. So then you can go and change it to the Twitter things, and that same image is going to show up in a different size and way that's going to look great on Twitter. And then it's going to have a square one that has all the same colors and the same words and the same pictures, but it's now square, and that goes great for Instagram. It's kind of, you only have to do one, and it automatically comes out in all the formats that you want to use it for. It's brilliant.
It doesn't do that on Canva?
No, Canva, you would have to redo it yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. I've got to try this. I have sent myself an email. I'm like, I spend so much time doing that, especially next week. Now I've got a giveaway coming up, and I work with a lot of different sites to like kind of get it out there, and all of them have different image requirements. So even for me, just to be able to get it like in my post for my featured image, for my Instagram, my Twitter, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Takes forever, you know.
But we end up being graphic designers, and you know, what I love about all these platforms is that you could use your own pictures, or they have pictures you can use that you have the license to use if you know. So it's already in there in that way.
So that'll cut, Melany, that'll cut down a lot of your hours then if you can just do it once and.
Oh my gosh, and how? I mean, I'm excited to look at it. You know, I signed up for PicMonkey. I kind of put this over on the side because I saw a lot of bloggers using that, but I didn't find it as creative as Canva for me.
I never liked PicMonkey either. It kind of felt a lot like an Adobe. What's the one? Yeah, like what did you mention it before?
Aren't they just layovers? Because that's what I thought
layers
that it was, and I've been paying for it a monthly fee, and I'm like, I don't even use it. I need to stop that. But it's just, just like frames, like.
Yeah, I've never liked that kind of that layer thing, and really that does use layers, but because it has those cool formats, it makes it worth it to have to. You know, a lot of it's pre-done. It's thought out with what we do in mind. So, Cindy, what is it that you're going to be focusing on? You're going to do the eggs. You're going to do your interview.
Yep. Tomorrow is going to be the eggs at 3:00 Eastern, and I don't know how to put it in there to, like everyone you say drop your link in there, and I have no idea. So it's going to be Ukrainian Easter eggs. Wednesday, 30th at 3:00 p.m.
Okay.
Eastern Standard Time.
Have you started it? Have you scheduled it already?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So it'll be at here, I'll go find
There was a thing that had an embed code.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what to do with it because I haven't gotten that far in the tutorial.
Do you have a website or a blog?
I have a website. But yeah,
so
I haven't put it there.
Do you post stuff and do you know how to go into the back end or the HTML part?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I have two websites. One is Joomla, and I know how to do that, and I know how to go into the back end, and I know how to put videos there and all this other stuff. Then I have another one that is WordPress, and I hate it. I don't like it, and I'm working with Sandra Centurino to fix the problem, which means scrap it and do something else.
Oh, I have WordPress. I like it, but I have been doing that. I never used anything else. I don't know. So, okay, Donnie's going to bed. Night, night, Donnie.
Night, Donnie.
Well, so, Cindy, I didn't see it. So, do you have a different Twitter handle that you use? What I saw was a test.
There's a test Ruth one, yeah. The other one was, let's see, it's
Relay's awesome. Sorry.
I'm excited.
Talking out of this side of my mouth to Melany, on this side to Cindy. All right, so I just wanted to make sure that I talked about my Kindle book. So I wrote a book. It came out in October 2013 called This Is the Sound of My Soul. And
that one? Sorry.
Oh, okay, that's the one. Let's see. So I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to click on that and subscribe. Okay, good. Ukrainian Easter eggs.
It worked. Right, okay, good.
I'm subscribed. It worked.
Then I'll pop out. Thank you. Nice meeting you, Melany. I'll see you later.
Like, that's it. I just wanted you to know. All right, good night. New Hampshire, it's late. Okay, so I went to this event this past week, and I actually had sponsored it with their grab bag had a card from me with a free download from my book, because Mary Lansing asked me if I would donate my book for the gala for the goodie bag, and I was like, I can't really afford to buy 100 books right now, but you could do so. You can't really just give away a code on Amazon for a free Kindle book. So what I did is I made it free for everyone for 1 week. So this week through Friday, you can get my book for free on Kindle. That's like a whole $3.99 savings.
Cool. But that out.
Why not? It's free. So I will be tweeting that out some more, and you just go to Amazon.com and look up Melissa Reyes, not the porn one and not the dancer in the Philippines, the other one. That's me.
That's you. I got it.
No,
Cool.
it's not porn. She just kind of has like erotica, you know.
Well,
For a while, I was the only Melissa Reyes on there.
If you Google Melany with a Y, it's me and porn stars. Totally. So I get that. But I wanted to say something because it's a self-promotion show. You know, I always say, and we were saying before how people were saying, you know, don't self-promote. But what I always say is, if I don't promote myself, who's going to promote me?
Right. And, you know, I do understand it's a time and place. And on Blab, a lot of times people want to stay on point and they have their plan and they interview somebody. You're not going to want to get on and self-promote while someone's interviewing somebody. That is absolutely true. And even in the side, a lot of people, like I've gotten poo-pooed for asking, can I put my link in? And so like what Cindy did was perfect, because I asked her, what are you focusing on? And she came on and she knew that's what it was. But people are a little touchy about that here. And I've noticed on Facebook groups too. And so, you know, once in a while, I'd like to make it, especially if it aligns with the theme of the week, which is this week is being open and focusing. It's like kind of being open to anything, yet knowing what you want, you know? And so to me, that is the perfect time to promote and talk about what I'm doing and what you're doing and what you're doing and what you're doing. And
this would have been a perfect time if I would have had my thing up, because the brand that I'm working with is very cool. It's a lot of different, well, I'll just say it because there's only a couple of us. So I'm doing a giveaway with Origami Owl.
Don't I was going to say, don't say any more, because that's also live on my website. You don't know who's watching. Could be hundreds, could be 1%. All right.
Go through. So Origami Owl was created by a girl that was 14 years old, and her name is Ella. It's amazing that she's grown this company huge. And they basically have these different things called lockets. They have all different kinds of jewelry where lockets you can put in and kind of customize all the different things to make a locket for yourself. So I thought it would be cool to do a Mother's Day one. So they have something exclusive coming out next week for Mother's Day. That's why I can't go live until next week. But, you know, the giveaway, I'm giving away 3 different lockets, and the choice is you can either do the Mother's Day one or you can customize your own. And it's very artistic and very fun. And I think it's such a really, you know, I'm trying to think about all the charms I want to go through, and there's so many things that describe me. Like even just like looking at my stones, I'm not just one way, you know.
That's who I am. Yeah.
So I feel like that would have been a fun, creative kind of a thing to drop in here, but you'll have to see that.
Come back next week.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to Vegas at the end of the next week. So hopefully that'll be the day that I'll get it up, and I'll be able to hopefully just plug it in there, because
all right,
it's fun. They've also have like charm bracelets, and I haven't, I still want to dig a little bit deeper into the girl's story, because I find it fascinating as a 14-year-old young lady that she could create this, and what inspired her, and all that. I think it's really fascinating. So I'm excited to be able to do that. It should be fun.
That's awesome. I've heard of Origami Owl, and that's really cool. And it makes you feel so good when you can promote somebody who, you know, is doing something that's their passion, or that is, you know, helping others, and it makes it worth it. You know, it really does. And even the big companies, I mean, they do give, you know, and help people. So like, I love Coca-Cola and Ford. You know, I'll always promote them because they do a lot for communities. So they should.
Yeah.
So, well, it's the hour went by super fast, especially because we didn't start right on time, but it's already after 7.
Okay.
So, I know you said you're not on Snapchat. It would be great if you got on it more.
I'll start to look.
Really awesome.
I gotta start doing it. Oh my gosh! And there's one other thing that I'm working on, but I can't say it yet.
Uh-oh.
So hopefully
Well,
I'll fire it out next week. It's a big one, but okay, I'll have to start looking at Snapchat. Don't you have enough of me everywhere? No.
Yeah, no, not enough. No, because I want you where I am, and I'm on Snapchat all the time. And so what I started doing, I actually started doing this on Meerkat last summer, just a little bit, but I was just coloring at the time, and I would point the camera to my coloring, and I would talk to people on Meerkat or Periscope, whatever, while I'm coloring. Okay, and so it's interesting for some people, but it was kind of boring too. But so now what I do on Snapchat is I'll start a drawing, and I'll just snap like a picture of it like halfway through, and I'll be like, oh yeah, this is what I'm drawing right now. And then, as I start to fill in the colors, I'll take another picture and then another picture. And then when I get to that finished one, like this one today, I finished, and I was almost finished. And then I had asked somebody about a week ago. His name is his handle is D Whiskey Man. He's the Whiskey Man, okay. And so he's really into whiskey. So I was like, I always ask people who engage with me on Snapchat, what colors should I use, or what should I do for my next mandala? And so sometimes they'll be like, oh, I like flowers, I like butterflies, or I like this. And I've done one for Cindy, and I've done one for a lot of different people that I've met on Snapchat. And it's fun because then they want to see the finished one, and we share. It's great for engagement. But it wasn't meant to be that. It was just started out me doing my thing.
Right.
So anyhow, he told me that he didn't think I'd be able to do one that he would like, because he likes, dark colors, and he likes whiskey, and he likes, the beach. And I was like, I could do that. Just tell me, I could do that. So it was a challenge. So this was the one I did, and I finished it today. And I was almost done. And then he said, you didn't put blue. So then I added blue. And so then I use this on Instagram and give, the crossover. It's been amazing. So I finally found a way, Melanie, to tie in what I love to do with the social media. It works for engagement. It helps to involve people in a way that they wouldn't think they would be interested in. And then I can post that on Redbubble, and I mean, this guy could get a T-shirt with it if he really wanted to, and say, this is something she made for me. So it's really neat. I love it. It's worked out.
I love it too. That's awesome. I love that you get to be so creative, because that's what this is all about. So I wish I could draw better than I can, but that's why my answer is my creative outlet is a little bit different than yours, because I'm just not as good with a pen. But
right. Well, honestly, it took that challenge of doing it every day. So I started out coloring every day for that mandala challenge. Yeah. And I got it's like muscle memory. I kind of learned how to do it. And then I started drawing my own. And then as I do it every day, I'm getting better. But it's just like music, you don't just start out holding a guitar and playing. You have to learn the chords and how music works, and then add singing with it and add it to another instrument. And, so it takes time. But for it to be able to develop to this point and blend with my other passion, which is just hanging out, it kind of gives me a purpose on social media, because I rejected all the affiliate ads. I tried everything. I did the affiliate ads. I did the sponsors posts. I did guest posts. None of it really appealed to me. So I pulled back, and I thought, but I don't want to give up my blog. So it's still working for me. So it's awesome.
That's awesome. Sometimes it just kind of comes together like that. Like you said, you didn't mean it to start like that. My blog was my cathartic outlet to get me through a tough time. And then all of a sudden started learning about all these other things. And now it's just kind of, taking on a life of its own. But that's what it's for. That's why we're doing this stuff. But I want to ask you, because I'm sure, I don't know if other people are interested. So your lighting kit is awesome. What lighting kit do you use?
I sent you the link for it. I got it on Amazon. I did. I responded to you on Facebook with a suggestion for you because it's a small desktop one that I think will work for you, and it's portable and you can put it away. But these are super big. I'll show them to you. Okay. So that's one.
Whoa!
See the big square?
Yeah.
And then there's another one on this side. Okay.
Okay.
And so it really lights up the room because I was having a real problem because I have what are those lights that are inside the wall?
Recessed.
Yeah, recessed lighting. Yeah. And it would look like a red halo over me, and then I could dim it, and then I had a desk lamp, and then I always looked like red for some reason, and I thought it was reflecting, like you kind of look pink.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it just all of a sudden I don't know.
Yeah.
No idea. I know.
I was having that issue and I didn't know what it was. And so I usually am at night, so I don't have the outside light. So people were telling me, I mean, I really, like I said, I've been doing this for a while. When I started, I didn't have all this equipment, but I've, matured and gotten more things. I have a mixer now. because I wanted to play the music in the beginning and the end. And I've got that external camera. These are like Christmas presents, birthday present from my husband. I'm really looking and going, gee, every present I get from my husband has been these things. So the lights, somebody was telling me about the lights and I should get the lights. And I was looking into them and I thought, I'm not going to spend $150 on lights. I just need a little light for the, so I tried a bunch of different like table lights and LED lights and clip-on lights or whatever. And then my boss had given me a $50 gift card for Amazon. And on Black Friday, I went on and I got, this was marked down really low. I think I got it for $49 and I used my gift card. So I love it when I don't have to pay for something. Yes. And so I chose literally took the slow boat from China, and it took like 60 days for me to get it. It took forever. I didn't think it was ever going to come, but because I didn't pay for it, I was like, okay, I'll just tell Amazon I never got it. What happened? I thought maybe somebody stole it off the porch. But they said it hadn't come. So finally I got the notification it shipped and was on the boat or whatever. And I finally got it and we opened it up. And for what I could not believe how amazing they are. Like I would pay full price for these.
I mean, it looks awesome and you can see your artwork behind you. I love it. It looks great. You look great.
They don't get hot. You can maneuver them very easy. They have, they're pretty stable. Like if my cats came in and ran around or something, they might knock it down, but they're on tripods. They're totally collapsible. You could put them in a bag and take them with you. They're great for photography. I could point it down and take pictures of my artwork on the table. I can maneuver them, but the light inside that thing is, those bulbs that are kind of like a coil, okay. But it's like this big. It's the biggest, it's like a halogen light, but it's not the big dome kind. It's the coil, but it's humongous. It's so crazy looking. And I'm like, okay, that's scary. So that, I was just glad they got here without breaking, and they work great.
Okay, I'm going to have to check those out. Thank you so much. And thanks for letting me jump in tonight.
Oh, I'm so glad you were here. And thank you, Cindy, for jumping in. And thank you, everybody, for being here. I want to thank Donnie Glenn for sharing with us and helping us out, and everybody else who showed up. This has been a really fun time. Thank you. I'm going to play out the music before we close it out.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to Tinseltown tonight, live with Ms. Meliz and Melany's Guidelines and Teddy Brewski. Thank you, Teddy Brewski. Have a good night, everybody. See you next Tuesday. Have a great week.